This is breaking news.
And we're following breaking news right now. We're early this morning as we take a live look from Washington, D.C. The Senate has unanimously agreed to a funding deal for the Department of Homeland Security. This now heads to the House, and they could vote as early as this hour, trying to end that 40-plus day-long partial government shutdown. Thanks for joining us here on Wake Up NonStop Local. I'm Sam Adams.
And I'm Kalai Chalk. Good morning. The deal will fund all of DHS except for ICE enforcement and removal operations and parts of Customs and Border Protections. Lawmakers have been trying to make a deal for 6 weeks, during which Democrats have pushed for a deal with significant reforms to immigration enforcement.
The White House, as well as Senate Republicans, have refused those demands and have agreed to take ICE funding out of the measure and pass a separate bill.
Mr. President, we could be standing here right now passing a funding bill with a list of reforms if Democrats had made the smallest effort to actually reach an agreement. But they didn't.
This could have been accomplished weeks ago if Republicans hadn't stood in the way. Democrats held firm in our opposition that Donald Trump's rogue and deadly militia should not get more funding without serious reforms, and we will continue to fight for those reforms.
The deal would restore funding to pay TSA agents who have gone without paychecks now. That could cause, with it, we've seen those high call-out rates and extreme delays at airports. The bill now heads to the House.
It is a chilly start to the day today, but it's also a really beautiful start to the day. Nice sunrises, and we're going to have plenty of sunshine as we head through this morning and into this afternoon. So as we often do at 7 o'clock, let's fly around the region here. Yakima, the Tri-Cities, and into Spokane. We're chilly everywhere. Believe it or not, though, our warmest temperature right now is in Spokane. Between these three cities, the Tri-Cities down to 23, 24 over toward Yakima. Let's go ahead and take a look at our satellite and radar, showing us pretty clear skies. Few showers north of the Canadian border. That is where they're going to stay. A few more clouds streaming into the northern part of the region. Also, you'll see a few more clouds for the rest of us as we head later into the evening. As we take a look at the high temperatures, though, for today, we get a nice warm-up hitting toward the upper 50s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Tri-Cities think we're going to sneak into the 60s today. Same story as we head over into Yakima, just barely getting up to that 60-degree mark. Getting you through the weekend, though, temperatures stay pretty consistent today into tomorrow. Tomorrow's low temperature will be a bit warmer because of that cloud cover moving in tonight. Then by Sunday, even heavier cloud cover starts to make its arrival. That's going to lead into more of an active and unsettled pattern as we head into next week. We'll talk about those changes through the middle of the weekend in just a few more minutes. Sam and Clyde.
Let's get to a crime track alert right now where a man is in jail this morning after an hours-long standoff.
Spokane Police Department says that the man was armed with a knife and threatening people. Police say he was in a parked car in the Zips parking lot near Market and Euclid in Spokane on Thursday. Our crews saw police bring in 2 SWAT trucks, a K-9, and drones before they made the arrest.
When he saw the uniformed police officers, he immediately grabbed a knife that he had with him in the car, brandished it, and actually directed it at the officers. In this case, once he shows the weapon, that elevates everything, and at that time we're going to take even greater steps to de-escalate, and we're going to make sure that we are safe as we try to keep him safe as well.
The man received medical attention before being taken into custody. He could face charges. A former paraeducator at Riverside Elementary in the Spokane area will now spend 30 years behind bars for child pornography and other charges.
Dallas Schuler was sentenced Thursday for charges from 2024. He'll also pay $83,000 in restitution to victims and be on supervised release for life. Court documents say he admitted to watching and distributing child sex abuse material.
He also admitted to contacting at least 25 minors for explicit content and to having inappropriate sexual contact with 2 victims around the age of 14. Schuler pled guilty in November to 12 felony counts related to child sex crimes.
Do we need an answer? And someone has it in their power to help. It is never too late. And when you do, the warmth of love and forgiveness that will come will be greater than can be imagined.
That is Savannah Guthrie describing the reality that she and her family are living right now as they continue to hold out hope for the return of Nancy Guthrie. Now, the Guthrie family is pleading for anyone with any information to come forward.
In that interview, Savannah says that there were several fake ransom notes sent after her mom was abducted February 1st. But she says she and her siblings believe at least 2 of them could have been real, which resulted in them posting videos on her Instagram account promising $1 million to information that came forward. Well, Pullman firefighters responded to a fire inside a laboratory at Washington State University.
Crews were able to put the fire out, but they needed to call backup for extra help. Pullman fire officials say staffing levels were well below national guidelines for this type of incident. They also warned that calls like this show just how quickly resources can be stretched. Spokane County health officials now confirming another case of measles. It's prompting warnings about possible exposure.
A full list of the potential exposure sites are on your screen. They include the Shadle Park Walmart, Black Pearl Casino, several restaurants across the county, and the Kaiser Riverfront Medical Center.
If you're not vaccinated, the health district does say that if you've visited any of these locations at the times listed on your screen, and if you're experiencing symptoms like a fever, cough, or rash, you should contact your healthcare provider before visiting a clinic in person. Battling broke this morning. 2 measures out of Idaho now moving to the State House to address affordable housing issues.
Now, one would ease zoning and make it more profitable for developers to create smaller starter home lots in certain cities rather than larger home lots where they usually make their income.
Now, the second bill would help ease regulations on putting an accessory dwelling unit on a property. The Mountain States Policy Center says these are issues meant to get Idaho workers housing that they can afford.
The Republicans are joining them because they see this as a housing attainability issue, an issue that's stifling our economy in a lot of ways because we can't bring in people that want to work in our economy, teachers, healthcare workers. They can't afford basic houses in Idaho, and we should be able to create an economy where people can move back to the Mountain West.
Meantime, we've also reached out to 3 senators who voted against the measures. One from Idaho Falls telling NonStop Local he voted no because he believes it takes more control away from local governments.
Well, this morning we have an update on that massive fire that ripped through a Vista Stadium in the concession building last September.
We're sharing video right now from that fire. We were live on scene throughout that morning as we saw the main concession stand go up in flames. Fire crews were on scene throughout that morning. Unfortunately, we can tell you no one was hurt. But the rebuilding still continues this morning with opening day just a week away.
NonStop Local's J.R. Cottingham is live this morning from the stadium with the progress.
Sam Kalai. Behind me, you're looking at the revival of a building that was once engulfed in flames back on September 5th. It was a shock for the entire community, especially because it happened when fire season was just ending. The real question stood to how did this fire begin? We now know it was the failure of an air conditioning unit, and you can just imagine how the general manager, Kyle Day, felt. I mean, he received a call after 2:30 a.m. He's been with the Indians for 15 years, general manager for 6. Overall, he says he's just grateful no one was injured.
Can't thank the firefighters enough too that were here that day, that early morning as well. There's so many people that the fire impacted that have helped since the fire, and it just shows kind of the community that Spokane has and the community that the Spokane Indians have.
Fans can expect to see some construction zones that Day says will be fenced off and safe for the public to walk around. However, there will be a temporary concession stand in place, a tent on the third base section on the outer concourse of the field. They'll be serving those same old baseball goodies. Reporting live from the Vista Stadium, J.R. Cottingham, NonStop Local.
All right, J.R., thank you. 7:10 this morning, time to get a look at your top local headlines from the Tri-Cities and Yakima.
And here's NonStop Locals, Colby and Brad.
Tracking crime this morning, an 18-year-old woman from Ellensburg is dead after what police are calling a domestic violence assault. Ellensburg police say officers responded to a call reporting the assault in the 1500 block of Glen Drive, not far from Central Washington University. That's where officers found the teenager lying on the ground, not breathing. Police identified a 19-year-old man on scene who was there with his brothers as the suspect. The young woman was taken to Kittitas Valley Hospital, then to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle, where she later died. The man has been booked into the Kittitas County Correction Center. A Wapato man getting sentenced to 13 years in prison after causing a serious injury to an unarmed person. This according to the United States Attorney for the Eastern District of Washington. 26-year-old Jeffrey Luce was sentenced to 156 months in prison in Yakima. That sentence will be followed by 3 years of supervised release. This comes after he pleaded guilty back in December to assault resulting in serious bodily injury and assault with a dangerous weapon stemming from an incident at a White Swan home in May of 2024. Luce is also ordered to pay $10,000 for medical bills for one of the victims in the incident. A convicted murderer serving a half-a-century sentence appearing in court once again asking for an early release. 51-year-old Javier Martinez stood before Judge Diana Ruff yesterday arguing for an early release after already serving 32 years. According to Franklin County Court documents, on July 25, 1993, Martinez, when he was 20 years old, pulled up behind a pickup, shooting and killing a person in the bed of the truck, hurting 2 other people. Court docs say in December of the same year, he was found guilty of murder, 2 counts of assault, and 7 counts of reckless endangerment. 2 months later, the judge sentenced him to 56 years in prison. That means he would be getting out in another 24 years from now. At his resentencing hearing yesterday, the motion was transferred to the State Court of Appeals in Spokane. During his 32 years in prison, Martinez has made multiple requests for an early release, all of which have been denied or transferred to the appellate court. For NonStop Local, I'm Colby Brad.
Let's get to a trending story this morning. The Italian stallion has a new home. The iconic sculpture of Rocky Balboa, drawing tourists to Philadelphia every year, has now been relocated.
And it's now the centerpiece of a temporary exhibit at the Philadelphia Museum of Art. It's been moved from the outside of the building to the inside, essentially. Now, it was moved Wednesday to prepare before it opens next month, that exhibit. In the meantime, Sylvester Stallone is loaning the city a statue from his private collection to take its place until August 2nd.
It's one of the originals, still created by Thomas Schomburg, who sculpted 3 in total for Rocky III, including the one at the museum. The third is actually at the Philadelphia International Airport.
Okay, so let's flash back to the movie, by the way, just in case you missed that scene from Rocky III. Right before Rocky announced his retirement in front of a crowd. By the way, if you look closely, I think you can find Mr. T in there. And Mr. T famously then says, "Hey, come on, I want to fight you, Rocky." He did, by the way. He unretired. Many times we've seen Rocky retire.
Also a great view of the city. Got the river down below, the Schuylkill River, I believe is the name of the river there. But yeah, also you still get the goosebumps, like Sam was saying. You can hear "Gonna Fly" now in the background, right?